Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to our 7th annual Grad competition. My name is Marta Manriquez, and I'm the coordinator of the Graduate Student Center, and I will be your host this afternoon. Thank you to all for joining us. Next slide. This is our Grad Slam brochure, which highlights what the Grad Slam is. And the student research presentations we have the honor of hearing today, as well as our guest judges and our staff. Today, our presenters are Mario Enriquez, Monique Flores, Madison Guerrero, Elizabeth Hackathorn, Isaac Oyeniyi, and Atina Skapinakis. Thank you to all of our presenters for joining us this year. I wish you the best of luck to all of you. I would also like to thank our judges, Dr. Elizabeth Adams and Dr. Amber Stokes, for being so generous with their time, for joining in and offering to judge this competition for us. And last but not least, I would like to give a special thanks to our staff, student assistants Abby and Samantha, for all the work they've done for this event, and to Adrian Silva, who has always been here for us. Next slide. Okay, here we go. Our first presenter is Mario Enriquez, and he will be presenting on exploring Kern County's neonatal abstinence syndrome phenomenon. He is part of the Healthcare Administration Program, and his advisor is Dr. Anthony Polito. Next slide. Okay, Mario, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, so just watch the countdown on the timer at the bottom right corner, and then start when the countdown ends. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I just want to offer a quick disclaimer that this topic does involve substance use and newborn health, which can be a difficult topic to discuss, but I believe it's very necessary. So with that, what exactly am I researching? I want to start by defining neonatal abstinence syndrome, or NAS, which is a postnatal drug withdrawal syndrome that affects newborns exposed to substances like opioids during pregnancy. These infants are born dependent on these substances, and within days, their bodies begin to experience withdrawal, with symptoms ranging from tremors, excessive crying, and feeding difficulties, to seizures and respiratory distress. And while these immediate symptoms are treatable and may go away after a few weeks, the impact does not. Research shows that these children are nearly twice as likely to develop ADHD, 1.6 times more likely to experience abnormal behavioral development by age 10, and face significantly higher rates of mental health disorders. We may discharge them from the NICU, but they carry this burden into the classroom and often for the rest of their lives. In California, the rates of NAS is 2.8 children per 1,000 births, but here in Kern County, it's nearly 4.4 births. And it's no doubt that intergenerational inequities, coupled with the lack of specialized treatment options, have led to an increased number of pregnant women struggling with substance abuse. And these numbers are leading to real problems for hospitals, with an average 16-day hospital stay and costs over $22,000 per infant, which is 5 times what a healthy birth would require. That's why my research asks, what factors are driving this in Kern County, and what strategies can help these families and healthcare organizations? To do this, I'm using the social ecological model, which is a framework I adapted from the CDC, And it really forces me to zoom out beyond the individual to the relationships, community, and societal barriers. For my analysis, I'm using a two-part qualitative approach, the first being document analysis of peer-reviewed research, and the second part being expert interviews, which I'm currently conducting with providers here in Bakersfield. Once the data is collected, I will sort these into one of four categories: individual, relationship, community, and societal. These steps are explained throughout my conceptual model, and I thought of this approach because it really creates an analysis grounded in both published research and uses the insights of those who do this work every day. Through this process, I hope to build a comprehensive narrative that explains not just what is happening in Kern County, but why, and most importantly, what we can do about it. Newborns who start life fighting NAS deserve a chance at a bright future, and I truly believe that this research is the first step in building that support system for Kern County. Thank you for your time.
Okay, could our judges enter the breakout room to discuss their scores? While they are evaluating Mario, I'm going to ask him a couple of questions. Okay, Mario, thank you for your presentation. Can you please share with us how you became interested in your research topic?
Yeah, so spring 2025, I actually took a class with Dr. Polito, my advisor, called Continuous Quality Improvement in Healthcare. And our final project for that class was a group project where we developed a service line for a hospital. And our group was tasked with Bakersfield Memorial. So we brainstormed what we could choose for our proposal, and having a psychology background myself and as well as interest from others in my group, we decided we want to focus on mental health. And through this research, we also discovered this big issue in Kern County with NAS. And it really interested me because I had never heard of NAS, and it felt like it wasn't getting enough attention. And again, I think that can be attributed to the fact that most cases of NAS are treatable, but I think the missing component to that is really the developmental impact that it has on children.
Thank you. That is, yeah, that's very important.
Mm-hmm.
And what is next for you? You graduating? Do you have other research plans?
Yeah, with graduation coming up, that's definitely been at the forefront of my mind. I'm currently interning with Kaiser in their finance and eligibility department. After graduation, I definitely want to pursue a permanent role, whether that be with Kaiser or another healthcare organization. I've never been really one to think of like, oh, I want that specific role or that specific title. But I think I've always been drawn towards roles where I feel like I can make the greatest difference and be the most impactful. And but I do know that for sure I want to stay local and continue to grow my leadership skills, and who knows, maybe that leads me to a place where I can really improve healthcare in our community.
Oh, thank you very much for your answers. Okay. We just have to wait for a little bit longer for our judges, and then we'll get back to the next presenter. And we'll just wait for a little bit. Okay, can we have the next slide? And next up, we have Monique Flores. Hi, Monique. Her topic is Overlooked Communities, Analyzing Muslims in China from the Late Qing to the Early Republic through Early Orientalist Discourse, 1870 through 1920. She's in the Master's History program, and her advisor is Dr. Stephen Allen. Next slide. Okay, Monique,
Can
are
you all
you
hear me?
ready?
Yes, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, wonderful.
Just watch for the timer at the bottom right corner and for the countdown, and then you can start.
Right, thank you. In 1910, over 1,200 missionary representatives gathered from various parts across the Western world for the Missionary World Conference of Edinburgh. It was at this conference that these individuals of various Christian denominations came together to make a unified decision. They must persist and renew their efforts to evangelize the entirety of the Asian and African world. This mission had clear objectives, which were to spread the message of Christianity to the furthest extents of the globe, to bring an understanding of the inherent superiority of Christian beliefs and Western values to native populations in these regions, and to combat the perceived threat of Islam, which had maintained a strong presence throughout these particular regions in the past centuries. The British Empire took the forefront of this campaign, as they had solidified their position as a financial powerhouse following the close of the Industrial Revolution, which had also stimulated a rise in the creation of social organizations that were meant to combat internal societal issues, including rural poverty caused by industrialization, as well as international causes like religious outreach. From this, the China Inland Mission was born in 1865. This particular mission was responsible for sending missionaries who were trained to be fluent in both Chinese and Arabic into the interior provinces of the then Qing Empire and to engage directly with the local population and persuade them to conversion. Among these demographics resided a Muslim society who was neither entirely foreign nor entirely native. For incoming missionaries, these Muslim communities became a focal point of interest and were targeted over the following generations. My research seeks to analyze the published discourse written by Euro-American missionaries and travelers that were sojourning from mainland China between the 1870s to 1920s and back to Britain, as well as America. This was an international project primarily between the dominant Western powers, of which the United Kingdom and America is included. The Euro-American missionaries fixated on Muslim communities within China, and they casted doubt on the ability of Muslims to navigate what they perceived to be a fundamental conflict between their Islamic religious practices and their identity as members of the Chinese society. Through the written words relayed by Western missionaries as well as by other figures who traveled to the region, it is clear that Euro-American missionaries viewed the potential of this dual identity as inherently irreconcilable. My research seeks to also add to the discourse of what is known as Orientalist studies. Orientalism is inherently is an idea that the West is inherently superior to the East in beliefs, in practice, and in the way that they conduct their societies. By pursuing this research, I believe that I can add nuance to identities that have previously been understudied, as well as provide additional insight into colonial history. Furthermore, I seek to provide an identity to those who have been overlooked. Thank you.
Thank you, Amber. I'm sorry. Thank you, Monique.
So
Okay.
Monique, I am so sorry, but we were not in the room when you started your presentation. So we missed the first minute or so.
Oh, okay.
So can you think of that as a dry run and just do it again?
Sure, no problem.
Okay.
I'm so sorry.
No. That's okay. That's okay. I don't mind being a guinea pig. It's okay.
Yeah, well, and you know, whatever you said, I'm sure it was fabulous, and now you can say it again.
All right, wonderful. Let me know when to go.
All right, you just use the timer again.
Yeah.
In 1910, over 1,200 missionary representatives gathered from various parts across the Western world for the Missionary Conference of Edinburgh. It was at this conference that individuals of various Christian denominations came together to make a unified decision that they must persist and renew their efforts to spread and evangelize the entirety of the Asian and African world. This mission had a clear objective, which was primarily to spread Christianity to the furthest extents of the globe, to bring an understanding of the inherent superiority of Christian beliefs and Western values to native populations in these regions, and to combat the perceived threat of Islam, which had maintained a strong presence throughout these particular regions in the past centuries. The British Empire took the forefront of this campaign as they had established their position as a financial powerhouse following the close of the Industrial Revolution, which had also stimulated a rise in the creation of social organizations that were meant to combat internal societal issues, among which included rural poverty caused directly by industrialization. and they also included international causes such as religious outreach. From this, the China Inland Mission was born in 1865. This particular mission was responsible for sending missionaries who were being trained to become fluent in both Chinese and Arabic to enter the interior provinces of the then Qing Empire and to engage directly with the local population to persuade them to convert. Among these demographics resided a Muslim community who was neither entirely foreigner nor entirely native. For incoming missionaries, the Muslim communities became a focal point of interest and were targeted by following generations. My research seeks to analyze the published discourse written by Euro-American missionaries and travelers that were sojourning to mainland China between the 1870s to 1920s. This was an international project led primarily by Western powers that desired to enter the Eastern Hemisphere and to spread the message of Christianity, and to also utilize it as a tool in order to persuade native populations to come over and to believe in Western values and to reestablish their societies in a way that mirrored Western societies. Additionally, Euro-American missionaries fixated on Muslim communities and they casted their doubt on the ability of Muslims to navigate what they perceived to be a fundamental conflict between Islamic religious practice as well as their identity as members of Chinese society. Through the written words and relayed by Western missionaries as well as by other figures who traveled to this region, it is clear that they viewed the potential of a dual identity in which one could associate as both Muslim and Chinese as entirely reconcilable. My research focuses on the writings relayed by Western missionaries back to the Western world, as well as the speakers of the missionary conference. And I hope by doing so that I can give nuance to the identities of the communities who have been overlooked in this project.
We will
Thank you.
absolutely count your time from the first go round since
Okay.
since you made it the first time. So we'll do that. So
Thank you.
we will go judge, and Martha will ask you some questions.
Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, we're gonna ask the same questions, and if we have more time, we can ask you more things.
Sure, go
So,
ahead.
Monique, could you tell us how you became interested in this research topic?
Well, contrary to my current visage, it's has nothing to do with my personal identity as a Muslim myself. Actually, in the undergrad program, I took on a project in which I researched Native American communities in California and how they were affected by the implementation of law, as California had just been ensconced into the United States at that time, and the way that the United States law was being implemented at that time was not necessarily stretching equivocally to all of the people residing in that area. And that experience taught me that the importance of microhistories and the idea that there are communities throughout the world that are completely overlooked and that we haven't really expected to find. In my master's program, I have really focused on the Asian world. It's been a particular interest of mine since my youth. And I've come to the conclusion that I am the most needed in this particular field. It's a very small, very niche field. And I think that I have the passion to pursue and even make some breakthroughs in this field. This has been my life's work for the past year, and it's something that I'm very dedicated to in the future.
Wow. And what do you foresee? What's next for you after this year?
Yes, so this upcoming semester will be my last one with CSUB. Following that, I am planning to, actually this summer, I'm planning to enroll in a language program. My PhD will, spoilers, I'm going to enroll in a PhD program,
That's great. That's great.
I will be required to learn at least 2 languages for my PhD, which will be Arabic and Chinese. I have already begun the process for both, and I just need to put myself in a formal institute so that when I attempt to enter the PhD program, I can more easily navigate the oral sources. Currently, the project is so small because there is just, or this particular field is so small because not everyone is willing to learn 2 languages in addition to whatever ones they already speak. And the sources are very difficult to navigate, let alone the sources that are in other languages. So that's why it's a niche field, but that's why I feel that I have the drive and the ambition to pursue it. Thank you, Maria.
Sounds like you might be traveling too, huh?
Yes, that's also a bonus, but
Yeah. So where would you be going to your PhD program? What school?
there's no final decisions as of yet. My professors, who are all on my master's committee, have made their suggestions, of course, including their alma maters. But
Okay.
so whichever, there's a limited amount of universities that would provide the necessary program that I would have. Not all universities provide an oriental program. Oh, thank you, Amber. Um, so it would really depend on what would be the easiest for me, as well as the program that is going to be the most thorough and help me really implement whatever research I already have.
Well, we wish you the best on your
Thank you.
future studies. Okay, next up we have Madison Guerrero, and she's presenting, her topic is "The Gap Doesn't Close Itself, What 23 Years of Data Tells Us About Pay Inequity." Madison is in the Masters of Business Administration, and her advisor is Dr. Shening Su. Next slide. Okay, Madison, you have your timer on the bottom right as well, and you can start after the countdown.
Imagine starting your career alongside a male colleague. Same job, same degree, same experience. 12 months later, he earns 8.8% more. Not for extra effort, but because he's a man. That number isn't just a statistic, it's a mirror, reflecting what thousands of women across the country experience every year. To understand how deep this goes, I turn to the National Longitude Survey of Youth, the NLSY 97. This is one of the most respected longitudinal data sets in our labor economics, tracking nearly 9,000 Americans born between 1980 and 1984, from their very first jobs all the way until adulthood. 23 years, nearly 200,000 observations, and unlike a snapshot survey, this data follows the same people over time, letting us watch wages evolve, not just measure them once. I ask a simple question. After factoring in education, occupation, region, and years of experience, do women still face a wage gap? Yes, they do. Across every occupation, every education level, every race, the penalty shows up. We're not talking about a rounding error. We're talking about thousands of dollars a year, compounding over their entire career. Even the most controlled models, women earn 8.8% less. That gap grows wider for women of color. A Black woman faces a compounded disadvantage approaching 15%, the sex penalty and race penalty stacked. So I looked for a change. In 2018, California banned employers from asking about salary history, a step meant to break the cycle of underpayment. To test its impact, I used the difference in differences model, comparing wage trends for women in the West before and after the ban against the rest of the country. It's the gold standard for policy evaluation. And the result, no statistically significant improvement. But that's not a failure on the policy. It's a failure on the data. California's numbers get blended into a 5-year Western region. When the data can't see clearly, policy can't act precisely. Then something emerged. Men in the West earned a 4.2% regional premium. Women in that same region, nothing. Same zip code, same resume, opposite results. That's not a cost of living story, it's structural inequity. Wage inequity isn't a mystery, it's a system. The solutions exist. Transparency, audits, enforcement. What's missing is the will. Because when talent is equal, opportunity should be too. And the gap, it doesn't close itself. Thank you.
Thank you, Madison. And while the judges are scoring, we will ask you the same questions.
Thank you, Athena.
Can you please share with us how you became interested in this research topic, which is very important, by the way?
So this actually started as a datathon competition. We were handed the NLSY 97 data set and had 8 hours to find a story worth telling. So once I started pulling at the wage gap trend, running the models, watching the 8.8 show up so many times, I couldn't let it go. And so I went with my faculty advisor and this became my research topic. So it made the data personal. These aren't abstract coefficients. They're real people's paychecks over the last 23 years. So it was pretty personal.
Oh, wow. That's very interesting, and that's very passionate research. What is next for you? Graduation or more research plans?
So this semester I graduate, woo, my MBA at CSUB, and this project has really sharpened and opened up a lot of doors. I ended up winning the data competition that this was about, and after that, I've just gotten a lot of different interviews and a lot of doors have opened. Right now, I'm currently at DHL as a business analyst, and I'm hoping to kind of continue that career in data.
DHL, the transportation,
Yep, I work in,
shipping?
yeah, that's why I'm also on the East Coast right now for training someone on a system that I don't even know how to use, but
Yeah. And how about any more studies after this? Is this the end of
so
the graduate studies for
classically,
now?
I'm trained as a physicist. That's what I did my undergrad in. So I think for right now, I'll stop with the research for a little bit, and then hopefully, once I get into a PhD program, I'll pick it back up.
Okay. Okay, well, best of luck and success to you.
Thank you so much.
What a great topic. Okay, let's wait for the judges. We'll make sure that they're back before we go to the next one. I'm just waiting for a signal. Okay, well, we wait. Oh, never mind. We should be back soon.
All right, Martha, we're back.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we have Elizabeth Heckathorn, and her topic is Burnout by Design, How Teaching Structures Shape Teachers' Well-Being. She's in the Educational Doctoral Leadership Program, and her advisor is Dr. Aaron Wisman. Hi, Elizabeth.
Hi.
Okay, next slide. Your timer is right there on the lower right side. And once, just watch the countdown and then you can start.
Copy that. I mourned the loss of my love for being a teacher in just my third year of teaching. I felt exhausted, cynical, and hopeless in my career. At the time, I thought the problem was me, that I just couldn't handle the workload, the stress, or the expectations. I was burned out. I used to say that I loved teaching, but hated being a teacher. But through the TikTok algorithm, I realized I wasn't alone, but part of a concerning statistic that puts teachers in the highest career with burnout. In desperation, I changed my environment. I moved from an elementary self-contained classroom where I taught every subject to a content specialized setting where I focused on fewer subjects. And almost immediately, I felt different, less overwhelmed, less emotionally drained. I started to love being a teacher again. So I started to wonder, was it really me or was it the structure of the job? Was there a meaningful difference in the number of subjects I was teaching? So I decided to look into it and explore whether there is a difference in burnout between these two structures. So for my dissertation, I asked if there is a significant difference between assignment structures and the 3 dimensions of burnout while controlling for years of experience. And those 3 dimensions are emotional exhaustion, depersonalization, and personal accomplishment. I surveyed 119 teachers from a single district across both assignment structures using the Maslock's Burnout Inventory for Educators survey. Here's what I found. Assignment structure didn't change everything, but it did significantly impact emotional exhaustion. Teachers in self-contained settings reported higher levels of emotional exhaustion than those in content specialized ones. And what makes this even more striking is that I collected this data during the summer between 2 school years when burnout might be expected to be lower. And at the item level, the highest levels of emotional exhaustion were tied to workload intensity and energy depletion. The highest rated items were, I feel used up at the end of the day, and I feel I am working too hard on my job. These items suggest there's more to explore in mitigating burnout beyond individual responsibility, pointing toward the role of a broader systems and structures. Because if burnout is built into the system, it cannot be solved by teachers alone. We need to look at how jobs are designed and how those designs contribute to burnout before the profession becomes less sustainable. Thank you.
Great, thank you. We will wait for the judges while the judges do their scores. We're just gonna ask you the same questions. And I just wanna say that what an interesting statistics. I couldn't believe finance is the least burnt out. I thought that would be hard too. So can you please share with us how you became interested in your research topic?
Well, besides being burned out myself, what's interesting is my second year, so burnout brought me to the doctoral program, but it was my second year in the double program that I was able to become a history teacher and only teaching one subject. And we had an assignment in Dr. Solowitz's class about planning for change. And I had been changing in my career as a teacher, and it made such an impact to where I love teaching again. And so I had to reflect, what is this change? Is it a thing? What does it mean? And his assignment actually really forced me to look at my own experience, and kind of just has become a really huge passion of mine now.
So you're not teaching now, but you're gonna go back?
I technically am a teacher in some ways. I work in the after school program, but I would have stayed as a middle school teacher. I went from middle school teacher to a better position, like a better pay position, but I'm going back because I like, but only middle school are best because I cannot do self-contained anymore. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I think teaching is the hardest job. My husband's a teacher, and I did substitute teach for a few years, and it is hard.
It is. It's very hard.
Okay. Any more research plans in the future?
I hope to do more of this type of research. I am working on making my dissertation into a manuscript and trying to get into journals, and I would love to be an expert in this field. So that is my passion right now. So yeah, I do want to continue.
You have one more year, right?
Oh, well, no, I defended already. I'm just working on my edits.
Oh, congratulations.
Thanks. And hopefully I'll get into the admin program at CSUB so I can become a principal and maybe bring my knowledge into helping change education.
Okay.
Oh, good. She's going to change education. Well, then the rest of us could just stop.
Yeah, it's okay. I got it.
Yeah, you got it. You got it. All right, Martha, we're back.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Adams.
Thank you.
All right, so next up, we have Isaac Oyeniyi. His topic is underground hydrogen storage, relevance to the sustainable energy transition. He's in the master's in geology, and his advisor is Dr. Lyosha Song. Next slide. Okay, here's your slide. Your timer is on the lower left side, Isaac. And once you see the countdown go down, then you can start.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. Hello, everyone. I'm sure every one of us have seen the first image of the pump jack, which is used by oil and gas industries for oil and gas exploration. But in reality, the sun is actually setting on the oil and gas industry because of its environmental hazards and emissions that is causing. And we're looking into a more sustainable, renewable, and clean energy like hydrogen. Hydrogen will play a major role in the future sustainable energy. And we know that hydrogen is a very light gas. It has high diffusion rate. It has very low density, and it's highly flammable. And these properties would create a major problem in its storage. And batteries can't store hydrogen on a long term. Storage tanks also, they have limited sizes and can't store hydrogen on a long term. And so that's why we're looking into underground storage of hydrogen. And one of the best places to store hydrogen underground is in abandoned oil and gas reservoirs. And abandoned oil and gas reservoirs are very good because it's safer, and then they allow the long-term storage of hydrogen. They also have high volumes to store hydrogen in large capacities. And I will say the third picture would say that California is one of the best places in the United States where hydrogen can be stored, and we have a very good storage facilities here. And we'll say that there are some tiny dots which shows that the San Joaquin Valley right here is one of the best places where hydrogen can be stored. The fourth image shows a 3D model of how hydrogen is going to be stored underground. And we're looking at injecting hydrogen into the ground, into rock formations. And this is where my research starts. My research is looking at how we could take some of these rock samples underground and study them for their storage capacity. We want to know the storage capacity, the storage potential of these rock structures. We want to know if they have good porosity, if they have good permeability to hold hydrogen under very high pressure. So these are part of what I'm looking to do. And these rock samples will be taken to the lab and would be caught, like we see in the image 6, would view these rock samples under 3D and look at the pore structures of this rock internally. Then after we look at the pore structures, we'll look at the reactivity of hydrogen with these rocks. And when all these are done, we're going to be quantifying our results, and then we'll make a pore network model to show how these rock samples could store hydrogen and prevent further leakage into the atmosphere. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Isaac. That's so interesting and a little scary. Okay, so while we wait for the judges to submit their scores, Isaac, can you please share with us how you became interested in this research topic?
Yeah, I'm an international student, and while I was in Nigeria, I was working with the oil and gas company, Schlumberger, and then we do oil and gas exploration. And at some point in time, because cleaner energy is not really dominant in Nigeria, right? We do just oil and gas. So I got to know about this research, and fortunately, the knowledge used for oil and gas exploration is also used in some of these renewable energies like hydrogen storage. So I needed to like apply my knowledge to help store hydrogen underground. So that was how I got to know about my research topic itself. And then I came here to work on it.
And are you graduating soon, or do you have more time to study? And is this your thesis topic that you're doing?
Actually, right now I have plans for research. In the summer, I'll be at Berkeley, Lawrence Berkeley National Lab, to carry out some of my experiments during the summer, and then I think I'll be graduating in a year time. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. While we wait for our judges. Somebody saying, when can they invest?
Anytime. The good thing about this is that it's cost effective because you're not drilling new wells. We're using existing wells that are used by oil and gas companies. So it's like we're repurposing these wells. So now, instead of storing for oil and gas, we are using it for hydrogen. So it's cost effective, right? And it's different when you're building new storage tanks. You're going to be spending more money, right? And it's not safer. So yeah. So I mean, your investments are welcome.
Right. Yeah, we'll look into it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. And we'll just wait a little more for the judges to come back.
We're back, Martha.
Okay, thank you. Okay, for our next slide, we have Athena Skabinakis. And her topic is the mentor ascension, first generation students and the climb towards social mobility. She is in the educational doctoral leadership program and her advisor is Dr. Michael Solowitz. Okay, next slide. Okay, Athena, you got your timer on the bottom, right? You can start after the countdown.
Okay. All right. Imagine being told that
Wait, I'm sorry. Do we start over?
Sorry.
Sorry, just wait till it goes to
Yes,
zero.
start the clock over.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
Imagine being told that education is the path to success, but no one ever hands you the map. That's the reality for many first generation college students. They arrive on campus with talent, resilience, and ambition, but without access to the networks, knowledge, or guidance that others inherit. Higher education promises social mobility, but it doesn't deliver it equitably. And it isn't that first generation students lack aspiration or ability. The issue is that they're navigating systems that were never designed for them. And even when support exists, we often misunderstand what actually moves the needle. So I asked a different question, not just does mentorship help, but how does mentorship create upward mobility? I conducted a qualitative case study across 2 university mentorship programs, interviewing first generation students, alumni mentors, and program leaders. And what I found reframes mentorship entirely. Mentorship is not just support, it's a mechanism. And it's a mechanism that does 3 things. It activates the strengths students already have. It translates the hidden roles of institutions. It converts those experiences into real opportunities. In other words, mentorship turns potential into mobility. One mentee participant shared that before mentorship, they didn't even know where to look for opportunities. But after mentorship, one mentee said, it just made me feel like I had a shot. They weren't just applying, they were being invited in. And that's the difference between access and transformation. This led to what I call the mentor dissension model, where mentorship becomes the bridge between cultural wealth and social mobility. Because for first generation students, success isn't just about getting a foothold on the mountain. It's about having someone show you how to climb so you can reach the top. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, while our judges do their scoring, we'll ask you some questions, and then you're the last one here, so I think it'll be a little bit longer because they'll have to score and judge all the other ones. Can you please share with us how you became interested in this research topic?
Sure. So I know some of you already, so some of you already know that I work in alumni engagement here at CSUB. And so I became interested in this topic through my work in alumni. I lead a mentorship program which connects alumni with students, and most of those students are first generation. In fact, CSU Bakersfield has a huge first generation student population, as does all of California. Probably the biggest across the nation, if I remember correctly. So getting to be a leader of the mentorship program I oversee, it was really just watching all these relationships unfold and seeing students gain confidence, access opportunities, and navigate spaces that were like originally unfamiliar to them. And it was also that like self-efficacy, because I think what I have found through my research is it really just isn't about them getting into the room, so to speak. It's about them having the confidence and feeling that professional legitimacy for them to stay in the room. And that was definitely one of my key findings. And that was something that I've seen over and over through my time leading the mentorship program. So really all of that kind of became the foundation of my research.
And do you stay in touch do you research and interview them, or do you stay in touch with them?
I
With
do.
subjects?
I actually have some mentees that I recognize here in Grad Slam, and I have to just tell you guys, like Madison and Mario, I am glowing with pride to see you guys here. So that makes me absolutely thrilled. So it is really cool when I get to, I think sometimes they're not always aware of my presence when I see them, but God, I really love watching them just do their thing. So.
And what comes next for you?
Next for me, I keep saying, God willing, I will pass my final defense, my dissertation. It's at the end of this month, and I am hoping to graduate this spring and put a very long 3 years behind me. As Elizabeth probably can relate.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, we'll be there for I hope to be there for your defense if I can.
Thank you.
Yeah. So how long have you been you're a double alum or a triple alum?
If I successfully defend and graduate, I will be a triple alum from CSUB, and very proud of it.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
Thank you.
Okay. So we'll just have to wait for the final judgment. And I don't know if do you guys want to play some music or? While we wait. Or if somebody wants to ask any questions of our presenters, if you have a specific question you want to bring up, you can go ahead and ask. Oh, somebody wants jazz music.
I don't have a question, but Monique, the Taipei Economic and Cultural Center, they have scholarships where you can learn Mandarin Chinese and they'll pay for everything, including your housing in Taiwan, anywhere from a minimum of 3 months to a year or two. So you may want to look into that.
Okay.
That's a wonderful suggestion. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sonia.
Yeah. And they also would also pay for your PhD too. So you may want to look into that as well.
Okay, definitely I'll look into it
Yeah.
because definitely not a cheap endeavor.
Yeah.
Thank you, Sonia.
I just want to say to like my fellow presenters, fantastic job. It was really cool to hear the diversity of presentations today. This is my first time participating, even though I've been at CSUB for quite a while. So this was a really cool experience for me, and it was really awesome to get to hear you guys present on topics that you're so passionate about. So keep it up. Like,
I know, I agree with you. We had a good variety of topics. You guys were all great. This is our 7th annual one.
guys will have to do something really big for your 10-year.
Yeah, yeah. Still 3 years away.
All right, Martha, we are back.
Okay, so I just have to wait for they're sending me a signal, so. One second.
While we're gathering scores, I want to thank everybody who came and presented. I thought they were all really excellent presentations, and really fun and interesting to hear everybody's research. I'm sorry, in fact, that I missed the what are you going to do with this afterwards. So Martha will fill me in on how you're
Okay.
changing the world.
Oh, this is being recorded, by the way, you guys.
While we're finalizing the scores, one thing I hope everybody that our first and second place folks will be invited to present at the statewide Grad Slam, which is May the 1st. It is also a virtual thing, but we want to represent CSUB well, and I think our two top folks will do that for sure. So, and congratulations ahead of time.
Okay, so I can't remember if we do a drum roll for the second runner-up or first runner-up, I should say. And
yeah, let's do a drum roll. Let's do a drum roll for both. Okay.
okay, second place goes to Madison Guerrero. Congratulations, Madison.
Thank you.
And now for first place. Okay, thanks. First place goes to Elizabeth Hackathorn. Congratulations, Elizabeth, and congratulations to everybody who did a great job. I am so proud of every one of you. Please stop by the Graduate Student Center. We're in DDH now. We're open and we're here for whatever you need.
You all did exceedingly well, and congratulations. We'll be in touch about the event with at I think it's Fullerton is sponsoring it this year. Not that it matters because you're just on Zoom. And Yeah, I really appreciate everybody's research. It was it's always so much fun to hear what people are doing, and as I said, I thought all of the presentations were really, really good. And congratulations on all your really excellent research. Though I'm now worried, Isaac, about the exploding rocks, but I'm going to try to
Yeah,
I'm going to try to work through it. Dr. Stokes told me not to worry about it. No, she
No,
didn't.
you don't have to worry about it.
Okay, all right.
thank you so much
We
for
have
the,
faith in Isaac.
Yes, exactly. Isaac's going to keep the rocks from exploding.
Okay.
that was such an interesting subject, Isaac. So for everyone, we have a Qualtrics survey, please, if you don't mind filling it out. The link is on the chat, or you can do the QR code on the screen. And that goes for everyone that's here. So we would like to hear everybody's thoughts.
Meantime, I hope everybody has a great weekend, and congrats, Elizabeth and Madison, on two really excellent presentations.
Well done, everyone. Thank you.
You guys were all great.